Hi guys, in this video we're going to have a look at percentages and how we calculate compound interest or compound depreciation. So interest is when we are increasing and depreciation is when we are going to decrease. So compound interest is not to get confused with simple interest. Compound interest is when you have an amount, and in this case it will increase by 5%, and after 1 year you'll get that the new amount after it's increased by 5%. And if you were to then work out for the second year, you would work out 5% of the new amount and then add it on. And then for 3 years you'd work out 5% of that other new amount and then add it on, and keep going, keep going, keep going. So let's get started, and hopefully that'll make a bit more sense in a minute. So in this case, I've got £600 and I invested it into a savings account paying 5% compound interest. So the first thing to do, I'm going to show you two ways to do this. I'll do the sort of long-winded way, if you like, first. So first bit is to work out 5% of £600. Okay, so 5% of 600, well 10% is 60, so then 5% must be £30. Okay, so that's the first thing, and then all you do then to work out what it is for the first year is we just add it on to the total, because remember, compound interest means we are increasing. So we've got £600 plus the £30 will give us £630. So that's after the first year. It's just increased by 5%. Now, if I want it for 3 years, I need to keep going. So like I said, compound is different to simple interest. Compound means that in the first year, which I just worked out here, so year one, or however you want to do it, year one is £630. So to work out what it would be for year two, I need to work out 5% of this new amount, not 600, and I'm not going to add another 30 on, another 30 on. I'm not doing that. That's simple interest. Compound interest, I need to work out 5% of this new amount, 630. So 5% of 630. Okay, so obviously you can work out 10% and then half it. That's going to give me £31.50. And then for the second year, all I do is add these two together. So 630 plus the £31.50. And of course, that's going to give me £661.50. Okay, sorry, forgot my pound sign. So that's for year two. Now for the third year, which is what this question's asking me, what it's going to be after 3 years, I then need to work out 5% of this new amount. So 5% of £661.50, and I worked that out earlier. That's 33.075. And then of course, to work it out after 3 years, all I do is add these two together. So £661.50 plus the 33.075, and that's going to give me £694, and I rounded it to 2 decimal places because we're dealing with money. Make sure you always do that. £694.58. Now, like I said, that's the long way of doing it. This is the slightly quicker and easier way to do it. If I'm going to increase an amount by 5%, I need to work out the decimal multiplier. In my previous percentages videos, you'll have heard me talk about decimal multipliers. They come in very handy in this case. So we always start off with 100%. In this case, our 100% is the 600. Now, if I'm increasing by 5%, I'm going to add 5%. What do I have? Oh, I have 105%. Then to work out the decimal multiplier, all I do is convert that to a decimal. So to go from a percentage to a decimal, we just divide by 100, in which case I'll have 1.05. Okay, that's my decimal multiplier. So for year one, I'll get my calculator out here. All I would do is 600 times by my multiplier, 1.05, and you'll see I get 630. Okay, so using the decimal multiplier, I just increase it by 5%. Why is it useful? When you do it for 3 years, it's a little bit nicer, because what I'm doing is I'm going to do £600, and I'm going to times it by 1.05. That's going to increase it for the first year, and I'm going to times it again by 1.05 to get it for the second year, and then one more time to get it for the third year. So because I'm timesing it by 3 times, it's going to increase the amount by 5% each time for 3 years. And obviously that can be simplified to be 600 times 1.05, and because I'm timesing it by itself 3 times, I can just say cubed. And then when you put that into your calculator, so 600 times 1.05, and then if you want to do a different, obviously that's squared, but if you want to do a different power, we just use this button here, the little blank square, and I'm going to put 3 in there, and once I press my SD button, 694.575, and like I said in my previous answer, I rounded it to 2 decimal places because it's money. So it'd be £694.58, which is what I got by doing it the long-winded way. So hopefully you can see the benefit of using the decimal multiplier. It's much quicker, and that's the method I'm going to continue with for the rest of this video. But just bear in mind, that's what compound interest is talking about, and of course you can do it that way if you prefer. So let's have a go at this one. So £484 is put into a savings account, and this time it's paying 8% interest. Cool, that's nice. Work out the amount after 3 years and 7 years. So like I said, I'm going to stick to using the decimal multiplier. So the first thing I'm going to do is work out the decimal multiplier. So I start off with 100%, which is my 484, and I'm increasing by 8% because it's a savings account paying interest, which means increase. So I plus 8%, which is going to give me 108%. And I'm going to convert that to a decimal. So remember, divide by 100, so I have 1.08. That's my decimal multiplier. So if I want to work out for 3 years, I just do £484 times by my decimal multiplier, which was 1.08. And because it's 3 years, I do it to the power of 3. So let's put that into the calculator here. 484 times 1.08 to the power of 3, because it's 3 years. And again, I'm going to round this number to 2 decimal places because we're dealing with money. So £609.70. Okay, and if I want to work out it after 7 years, well, you probably guessed it by now. I'm just going to do 484 times my decimal multiplier, and this time, because it's 7 years, I'm going to do it to the power of 7, because obviously I want to times by 1.087 times, but it's much quicker to say to the power of 7. And all I'm going to do is just go backtrack here and change that power to a 7. Obviously you can type it out fresh if you wish, but I'm just going to change the power to a 7, save a bit of time. So I'm going to have £829. Again, I'm going to round that to 2 decimal places because it's money, so 49. It says this one here, how many years will it take to get over £1,200? So what you can do here, well, we know 7 years, it's this, you can just carry on. So what I'm going to do is change the power. I'm going to change the power to 8 to find out how much it is for 8 years, which is £895.85. Obviously still not enough, so I'm going to change it to, not 89, I'm going to change it to 9. And all I'm going to do is just keep going until I get over 1,200. So 10 gives me just, is a bit too short still. Let's try 11 years. Getting closer. So I'm just going to put that down. So year 11 is very close, and that equals £1,128.51. And then year 12, let's have a look. I imagine that's probably going to do it. Yep, there we go. So year 12 is £1,218, and again, round it to 2 decimal places, 79 pence. So how many years will it take to get over 1,200? Well, it's going to take 12 years. But just make sure you do copy down your working. So I know obviously this is part A, B and C, but if that was just a question on its own, make sure you do write down your working that you put into your calculator, and I would always say what year. So year 11 was that, year 12 was that, therefore it's 12 years. So make sure you do just write down all your working. Okay guys? Right, let's have a look at some more examples. So in these next examples, we're going to have a look at depreciation, which is obviously decreasing. So it's going down, decreasing. So in this example, a TV bought for £1,200 depreciates, so it's decreasing at a rate of 12% each year. What will the value of the TV be after 4 years? And then part B, 7 years. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to find out what the decimal multiplier is. So I always start off with 100%. This time it's depreciating, so I'm going to take away 12%. 100 take away 12 is obviously going to give me 88%. And as a decimal, divide by 100, so 0.88. Okay, so let's get cracking. The amount is 1,200. And I'm going to times that by my decimal multiplier, which we worked out to be 0.88. And this time it's over 4 years, so it's to the power of 4. So get calculator out. 1,200 times 0.88 to the power of 4. And we get £719, and right to 2 decimal places, 63 pence. Okay, exactly the same thing to work out for 7 years. You do your amount, which was £1,200, times by the decimal multiplier, which we worked out was 0.88. But this time, I want to know what it is after 7 years, so I change it to the power of 7. Again, you can retype it if you want. I'm just going to go back, though, and change my power to 7. And I get £490 and 41 pence. How many years will it take to be under 300? Well, it's just the same thing. We know 7 years is 490, so let's just keep going. So 8 years, 431, not quite. Let's try 9. 379, getting closer, but not quite. So let's try 10. 334, that's looking very close. So let's have a look. Year 10, let's write that down, was £334 and 20 pence. So I'd imagine year 11, it will either do it or be even closer. Let's just write it down and have a look. Yep, there we go. So year 11, £294, and we'll round it up, so it'd be 10 pence. Okay, so how many years will it take to be under 300? Well, it'll take 11 years. Okay, and again, make sure you show both just so you get the marks and the working if you haven't already done these ones here. Last example then, guys. So a new car costs 12 grand. It loses 22.5% of its value each year. So again, I'm going to need to work out my decimal multiplier before I do anything. So I start off with 100%. It's losing value, so it's take away 22.5%, which leaves us with 77.5%. Convert it to a decimal, 0.775 by dividing by 100. Okay, let's have a look. How many years have I owned the car if it is now worth £4,329? Okay, so this time I need to find how many years I've had it. Let's just show our working. So I'm going to have £12,000. We know we're going to times it by our multiplier, which is 0.775. But what we don't know is the power, which is how many years it is. And we know it equals £4,329. So all I'm going to do is have a little play and have a look. So to the power of, well, let's just go start with 1 year. So after 1 year, it's 9,300. So nope. 2 years, 7,207. So nope. Let's try 3 years. Nope. I don't think. Nope, that's 5,500. I've got a funny feeling it might be the next one, though. So 4 years, so the power of 4. Let's have a look. 4,329.00. Yep, so there we go. So just try it out, and therefore we can work out the power is 4. So that would be 4 years. So don't be put off, just do exactly the same thing, and then a bit of trial and error on the calculator, you'll soon find it. How many years does it take for the car to be worth under a quarter of its value? Well, the first thing you do there is work out a quarter of 12,000. So to work out a quarter, you can just divide it by 4, or you can do, just a little bit of a refresher, using a calculator as a fraction, you could do 1/4 times by 12,000. Just to give a refresher, you can use the fraction button there, and of course, you get 3,000. So we're seeing how many years does it take to get under 3,000? Well, 4 years was 4,329, so let's try 5 years. So year 5. Let's have a look. So we've got 12,000 times by our multiplier to the power of 5. What's that going to be? So that's going to be £3,354 and 98 pence. So let's try year 6. What's that going to be? Delete 5 and put 6. 2,600. And 11 pence. Okay, so there we go. 6 years is how many years it will take for it to be under a quarter of its original value. Okay, guys, so hopefully that helps. Hopefully you can also see the benefit of using decimal multipliers. They do speed things up. Obviously, you can do this step by step by step. But decimal multipliers with a calculator, it makes things so much easier. So hopefully that helps. Thanks for watching.